How are you going to win a bidding war for your client when you have multiple offers and you're on the buy side? Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you guys a couple of different ways that can hopefully help you do that for your client. The first one that's really important that helps a lot is waiving the appraisal or limiting the appraisal. So depending on how deep the pockets are of your buyer, most buyers are probably just going to want to cap their appraisal. So one way you could do this is setting a limit on how much they're willing to pay. So for example, let's say they're buying a house, they're paying $510,000. You would put in the contract, buyer agrees to pay $10,000 over the appraised cost or the purchase price, whatever is lower. So for example, the house comes in and appraises only for $490. Your buyer's willing to pay up to $500, no more than that. And then on the flip side, let's say it appraises for $540. Well, you're only paying $510, which is your original purchase price. But by waiving the appraisal or capping the appraisal, you basically are telling the seller, hey, this is the absolute floor that I will definitely pay for the property, instead of just walking away if it doesn't appraise. So that is a big one. That helps a lot. The second one is limiting or waiving the home inspection. Now, unless your client is a licensed general contractor or a very seasoned investor, I don't suggest they do that. It is important to have a home inspection, but what you can do is limit it. So what we do that's popular is we say we're going to limit it to structural issues, environmental issues, mechanical issues, which basically, so structural is the foundation, the joists, the roof. Environmental could be, if there's an underground oil tank. Mechanical could be, the boilers, the furnaces, things like that. So basically what you're saying is everything else, we're not going to touch. So if the GFIs don't work or, some windows don't close properly, some paint's chipped. And by doing that, again, you're telling the seller, listen, we're not going to try to chisel you down too much on the home inspection. And some sellers could take that personally too, because that's a home that they've lived in a long time. They've put a lot of love into it, and they could take offense sometimes when there's a list of repair costs that come in. So those two are the big ones. Now the third big one is price. Now, I just want you to understand, I didn't mention that off the bat because price doesn't always win the day. The appraisal and home inspection are just as important. Price is obviously very important. You're in a bidding war, you do have to put your best foot forward. So price is important. And then a fourth one is the earnest money deposit. The earnest money deposit, if you want to put half of your earnest money deposit down, that's really helpful. If you're an FHA loan, if you want to put the whole thing down as an earnest money deposit, basically it's showing the seller, okay, this person's serious, they really want the property. From a listing agent's perspective, when you get offers in and the person puts $1,000, does this person even want the property, right? So imagine you get an offer, if they're both the same price, an earnest money deposit, the one person puts $1,000 down and the other person puts $20,000 down. We're probably going to go with the $20,000 one if they're exactly the same. So large earnest money deposits, very important, shows that you're serious. And then the last one you can consider, this is really only for rental property, is saying, hey, I'll be responsible for the CO. By doing that with property, with rental property, it just makes life easy for the seller. It's great, I don't have to do anything. You're going to take care of all the repairs. So those are some things I want you guys to consider. So if you are in a bidding war, obviously you're more than welcome to ask me questions or other realtors in our firm. But these 5 things can definitely help you guys win the day. It has helped me in my career and as a listing agent as well. In a bidding war, these are things we really look for. So I want you guys to take this into consideration, talk to your buyer about it, and let's go win some bids.